like to welcome everyone to this wonderful day where friends, family, and loved ones have all joined to see Greg and Jenni on their wedding day. I am personally honored to be here today with Jenni and Greg. I've known Jenni since elementary school through Girl Scouts, and Greg since high school, and I've got to see them through their many accomplishments. And as you all know, life takes us down many paths, and it is incredible to see two people like Jenni and Greg find each other and decide to make a lifelong commitment to one another. Greg and Jenni, are you ready to make that commitment today?
Yes.
Before we begin the stand ceremony, I'd like to take a moment to recognize those who could not be with us today. We'd like to recognize Jenni's grandparents, Marilyn and Ivor Van Osdale, who were married for over 60 years and extremely influential in her life. And we'd also like to recognize those family members and friends who could not be with us here today. You're in our thoughts, though not in our presence. A few friends here today have prepared readings for Jenni and Greg. Slider, will you now please share your readings?
Hi guys. Congratulations. Result.
Thanks.
Bear with me guys, it's kind of dark, so. Alright. I've only had the privilege of knowing Greg and Jenni for a short time. In that time, however, they have grown to be some of my favorite people. Funny, caring, genuine, only a little weird. These two people have blessed me with their friendship and showed me so much, both in themselves and myself. Having been jaded from relationships, I never did quite believe in true love. I didn't think it was possible. Then I met Greg and Jenni. Upon seeing the way that they care for each other, I had to take a second look at my misconceptions that I had created and realize that it's only with a little work from both parties that can real meaningful love develop. There's not much I can say about either person that many of you don't already know. Many of Greg and Jenni's stories probably involve a number of you in some way or another. I can just say with complete sincerity that I'm ecstatic to be part of something so special in my friends' lives. I'm so happy to get to see the joining, in my opinion, of the most appropriate love. Greg and Jenni belong together like lamb and tuna fish. Greg, be a good husband, listen, be calm, and carry on. Jenni, there's not really much you have to do, just be patient.
We also have Stephanie, who will read her piece for Jenni and Greg.
Jenni and Greg asked me to say a few words to set the mood and tone of their wedding. And I thought long and hard. I discarded some metaphors of love and some famous quotes, and I eventually settled upon a topic that is near and dear to both of their hearts. Today I'm going to say a few words about zombies. Zombies! The shambling ghouls of black and white Saturday matinees and the quick, ravenous monsters of modern horror are all suffering from the same disease: disconnection from the world around them and from each other. And aren't we all there sometimes? Don't we shuffle to work, monosyllabic, until we get our caffeine, and then go through the motions of work and house as if completely unaware of other people? Don't we set our sights on one desire after another, rushing from experience to experience without actually stopping to enjoy any of it? Haven't you found yourself staring into space, wishing for just a little more brains? Greg and Jenni were there too, and they've decided to take the only vaccine that works. They've decided to get married, by which I mean that they've decided to get connected, unashamedly, unhesitatingly connected to each other. In this, they refuse to become numb themselves. They promise to give each other attention, consideration, and kindness. Emotions zombies most certainly do not share. They refuse to feed on the heart and mind of the other, agreeing instead to grow these things together and share them equally. And they vow not to allow the other to become a zombie when they aren't looking, slipping into apathy, numbness, and a maddening hunger. They do these things with the shotguns of their love strapped around their backs and the truncheons of their humor held firmly in their hands. Together they will defend their humanity and their home with all the wit, grace, and power of any spunky heroine or oversized hero. Together they are an example of what is possible when two people set their sights on the same star, They cut through our 21st century cynicism and proved that, in fact, zombification is not inevitable. That friendship, love, and desire, when held with both hands, are the only weapons any of us need to stay human. With the zombies held at bay by their mutual promises, Jenni and Greg are ready to face the other monsters of life, defending against the Frankenstein co-workers, the soul vampires of false friends, and the mummy of age itself. The adventure they are about to embark on has all of the magic of any Hollywood movie, and all of the terror of true Lovecraftian horror. Dread Cthulhu has nothing on balancing family Christmases. But the truest fact is that as long as they stick together, connected to each other, the zombies of life, real and imagined, apathetic and disastrous, cannot harm them. That said, let's get them married, shall we?
As Jenni and Greg embark on their future together, there are many paths and roads down which their lives will take them. Like this vase patiently waiting to be filled, they have a bright future ahead of them. I would like the parents of Jenni and Greg to please step forward. The teal-colored sand represents Greg's family, those who brought him into this world and who now watch him grow in it. Will you please pour some of this sand into the vase to represent his new life with Jenni? The purple-colored sand represents Jenni's family, those who brought her into this world and who watched her grow in it. Will you please pour some of this sand into the vase to represent her new life with Greg? Jenni, Greg, and representatives of the bridal party, will you please step forward? The purple and teal color sand now represents Greg and Jenni as individuals. The white colored sand represents those who have supported them throughout their lives to mold them into the individuals they are today, representing their support, influence, and everlasting friendship that they will continue to give throughout Jenni and Greg's new journey together. Will you please pour some of this sand to represent the friendship and support? Each grain of sand represents a unique and separate moment, decision, feeling, or event that helped to shape them into who they are today. And as time passes, the sand will shift and change as they will. But like the sand, they will forever be intertwined with one another. To love is not to possess, to own or imprison, nor to lose oneself in another. Love is to join and separate, to walk alone and together, to find a lasting freedom that lonely isolation does not permit. It is finally to be able to be who we really are, no longer clinging to childish dependency, nor living separate lives in silence. It is to be perfectly oneself and perfectly joined in permanent commitment to another and to one's inner self. Love only endures when it moves like waves, receding and returning gently or passionately, or moving lovingly like the tide in the moon's own predictable harmony. Because finally, despite a child's scars or an adult's deepest wounds, They are openly free to be who they really are and always secretly were. In the very core of their being, where true and lasting love alone can abide. As Jenni and Greg pour their sand into this vase, that represents their commitment to join these two lives, individual and unique, into a mutual and shared life. Now that the couple has joined us once symbolically, Jenni's sister and maid of honor Lisa would like to read The Art of a Good Marriage by Wilford Arlen Peterson before the couple embarks on this journey.
Happiness in marriage is not something that just happens. A good marriage must be created. In marriage, the little things are the big things. It is never being too old to hold hands. It is remembering to say, I love you at least once a day. It is never going to sleep angry. It is at no time taking others for granted. The courtship should not end with the honeymoon. It should continue throughout the years. It is having a mutual sense of values and common objectives. It is standing together, facing the world. It is forming a circle of love that gathers the whole family. It is doing things for each other, not an attitude of duty or sacrifice, but in the spirit of joy. It is speaking words of appreciation and demonstrating gratitude in thoughtful ways. It is not looking for perfection in each other. It is cultivating flexibility, patience, understanding, and a sense of humor. It is having the capacity to forgive and forget. It is giving each other an atmosphere in which each can grow old. It is a common search for the good and the beautiful. It is establishing a relationship in which the independence is equal, dependence is mutual, and the obligation is reciprocal. It is not only marrying the right partner, it is being the right partner.
Greg and Jenni, will you please join hands? Greg, will you take this woman whose hand you hold to be your lifelong partner in true matrimony? Will you love and cherish her, provide her with comfort through the good times and bad, in sickness and in health, and promise to honor her at all times?
Yes.
Jenni, will you take this man whose hand you hold to be your lifelong partner in true matrimony? Will you love and cherish him, provide him with comfort through the good times and bad, in sickness and in health, and promise to honor him at all times? Will you please present the rings to represent this commitment? You don't just need to learn. As you take these rings, remember that they are a promise to one another, that you will travel hand in hand along the path of your uncharted future, ready to take risks together, to dream together, and love one another always. Greg, in placing this ring on Jenni's finger, repeat after me and then recite your vows. Jenni, this ring I give you, as my personal gift and my personal promise, of love and trust, and joy that you are my partner, and that part of me is with you always.
From this day forward, I promise you these things. I will laugh with you in times of joy, and comfort you in times of sorrow. I will share your dreams and support you as you strive to achieve your goals, as you always have for me. I sacrifice money for happiness and comfort for principles, and I will stand beside you as you do the same, with all the love and all the support that you give to me. I will listen to you with compassion and understanding, and speak to you with encouragement. I will help you when you need it, and step aside when you don't, and I will listen when you tell me which is which, no matter how difficult that may be. I will remain faithful to you for better or worse in times of sickness and health. You've supported me through my most different trials, my most difficult trials, without considering any other option, and my dedication will be the same. We've always been recognized as a pair in many senses of the word for as long as I can remember, and I'm ready to dedicate myself in lifetime partnership with you. You are my best friend, and I love you.
Jenni, in placing this ring on Greg's finger, repeat after me and recite your written vows. Greg, This ring I give you
This ring I give you
as my personal gift and as my personal promise
as my personal gift and my personal promise
of love and trust,
of love and trust,
and joy that you are my partner,
and joy that you are my partner,
and that part of me is with you always.
and that part of me is with you always. Oh, you stole my first line. We've been a pair, if not a couple, for years. We've been known associates, improv partners, headphone sharers, and of course friends. It seems that growing old together was always in our future, regardless of relationship status. In our time together, you've surprised me, distracted me, captivated me, and challenged me in a way that no human being ever has. I've fallen in love with you again and again, and I can't believe that today I can swear this. 7 years ago, your mom altered my name with unicorns, and now she's created my living guess. Sorry. No matter what trials we encounter or how much time passes, I promise to be true to you, to uplift and support you, to frustrate and challenge you, and to share with you the most beautiful moments of life. I trust that our love will never fade, that we will always find strength in one another, and that we will continue to grow step by step. I love you.
When you wear these rings, you will each recall the support and love you receive from one another, and the world will know that you stand together. Let nothing nor no one come between these two people in their commitment to one another. Greg and Jenni, you have consented together in this union of marriage, and you have pledged your commitment to one another. In my presence and the presence of your friends, family, and loved ones, and now with the power vested in me as a minister in the state of Missouri, I now announce you partners for life. You may kiss the bride.